Happy December. Welcome back, Wild Things. It's Cypris. Did everybody survive Thanksgiving okay? I made it through. Little cat, you're not getting these cookies. Dude, you're gonna have to like stop. So I made it through Thanksgiving. Actually, this is one of the better Thanksgivings I've ever had, ironically. But even in the best of times, Thanksgiving is stressful and there are things about Thanksgiving I'd really rather not deal with. Hello, baby. How are you? He wants these. But I brought them to share with you. I guess not literally. I made snickerdoodles the other day. They're still pretty good. You want some? There, eat that. I thought it'd be really fun to share trimming the tree with all of you. It's after 5 o'clock, so we can have fun doing it. And I thought homemade cookies would be a great snack to have while we do this. But I better put these away because I've got a little cat who's not going to leave them alone. I guess that idea was better on paper. I wasn't thinking about how determined he is when it comes to snacks. Yeah, you think you get to share everything, don't you? So this is my tree. Literally paid $5 for it at Goodwill. Yeah. It's pre-strung, and there is a lamp back there. If it looks like the tree's inordinately glowing, that is why. So I'm sharing this with you partly because it's fun and partly because this is kind of a big deal. I have not been able to set up a tree in my own home for at least 2, I want to say 3 seasons. Like, it's been a minute because I didn't have a home, and typically I don't like to set up a tree anyway because I don't get to be at home anyway. I have to go drive to family houses. Being unpartnered and unchilded, I have no children, which means by default I can't get out of traveling for any major holiday. So I've been largely bitter about putting up Christmas trees for a long time until the cats came along. The cats love the Christmas tree, so I kind of got into the habit of putting it up just for the cats. But this year I actually get to be here and home for Christmas. For the entire Yule season, actually. I actually get to celebrate the holiday in my own home, albeit all by myself, but that's okay. I've never done a solitary holiday, and I'm kind of looking forward to it because way lower stress, way less driving, and I get to share my holiday with you guys. I think something weird happened to the wine. Or eating cookies and drinking wine. Not a good combination. Alright, there's something else I need to explain to you for context. As I said, it's been 2 or 3 years since I've set up my own tree. I pulled out all of my ornaments and started looking at them and realized I've moved on. Almost every single ornament I have or had came from my 20s. And this was a decade in which I was stuck in what I call a coma. I was married and it was not a healthy marriage. It was low-grade toxic for me. Anyway, most of the Christmas decorations that I have, at least ornaments for the tree, I got with him. And I realized, one, I didn't want that energy in my house anymore. I've processed, I've moved on, and I don't necessarily want reminders of that time of my life on my Christmas tree. Call me crazy. Also, the color theme that I used to prefer, I used to do a white and gold Christmas tree for a long time, but that is a color preference that I associate with that time in my life. And as I said, not interested in regurgitating that if there's any unfinished, unprocessed anything from that time in my life and I have it on my tree, it'll come up. And I don't want the holiday to be imbued with those memories now. I want to build a new holiday, a new experience. I wanted a fresh start, let's just put it that way. And the color theme that would make sense for me now, aren't you gonna be so surprised? I decided that I needed to go with blue and silver. I know, It's such a shocker. I made a mad dash to the local store here. Fortunately, there were plenty of things to choose from. I found some blue ones. I found some vintage appearing ones. Silver ones. And because it's a seasonally appropriate color, symbolically important, and I thought it would add a real splash of contrast, I found some red ones. These are not all going to go on the tree. It's a small tree. I don't know why you care about all this information. I am ridiculously thorough. I guess I'll have to edit stuff out. I've actually never in my life bought a set of ornaments for myself before. I've certainly never bought ornaments ahead of the holiday. I've always bought them in the bargain bin afterwards and just scraped through and found whatever I thought kind of sort of looked good. I actually picked these out this time. So this is kind of a big deal. They're cheap ornaments. I don't know how long they'll hold up and look decent, but it'll give me time to enjoy the tree now and feel like I did something for me. Spoiled myself a little bit, and I have time to transition and find better ornaments as I go forward without having to basically wallow in my past. So I'm really grateful that there are a plethora of inexpensive ornaments out there for me to choose from, because that way I can do this. Okay, the tape is not my friend today. Ugh. Oh my goodness, this tape. Oh, I think I need to rethink my life choices here. Okay. Yay! Oh, and look at that. There are no hooks on these ornaments, but I am prepared. I have an old tin. It was probably full of fudge or something at one point. And in this tin is nothing but ornament accoutrement. Ha ha ha! Cheap ornaments, you did not foil me. Alright. Easy enough, and I should probably take these back off at the end of the season so that they don't contribute to scratching in storage. Decorating my own tree in my own home, sipping wine, sharing the experience with all of my closest friends. How could this be any less sucky? It couldn't. This is fabulous. I might actually start enjoying the holidays. I don't know if it's traditional to have blue for your ornaments on your tree or not. I know it's retro, like it was popular at one time, like was it the 70s, the 60s, something like that. Where you can see it right there. Can you see? It's really small, but if I zoom in I might miss something. Kind of a retro look on this one. Actually, oddly enough, one of my earliest Christmas memories is decorating. Oh, don't break. Speaking of which, thank goodness these are really cheap plastic and not really cheap metal or glass. They were glass when I was a kid, because I was so excited. It was probably my first Christmas to be big enough to even conceptualize that we were decorating the tree, and I was very little. And my father, never one for patience, handed me an ornament, but he thought I had it before I had it, and he let go before I said I had it, and of course blamed me for dropping it. Did I show you this one? It's kind of a cool look. I was devastated because I was trying so hard to be careful, and I couldn't predict that he was going to let go of it. This memory is burned into my brain. I was probably 2 or 3. I got sent to my room, and so I was, in the eyes of my parent, guilty of sabotaging the ornaments, and also in my room, so I couldn't be a part of decorating the trees. So that was fun memories! But I also remember, I must have been 18 months. Would have been 18 months or 2.5. Anyway, I wanted a heaven for Christmas. I was enchanted with nativity scenes. My grandmother had a really nice one, and in my little baby brain, I thought they were a depiction of the realm of the gods. You know, those mythical stories, it's not here, it's somewhere else, right? It's somewhere like Olympus or something. So I really wanted to have one of my own. I guess we didn't even have one in the house, and Grandma would very tentatively let me play with hers. And so I remember coming down Christmas morning, and I was just old enough to be starting to understand the magic of Santa Claus as well. I was so impressed as I came down the hallway out into the living room. It was still dark. There was a warm glow from the table lamps, and the tree was lit. And at the base of the tree, not even wrapped, was this nativity scene all laid out for me. And I remember that I was so in awe, and there was just this glow around it from the table lamps and the tree, and I couldn't even touch it at first. I just had to look at it and just bask in it. I was so happy. It was one of the few times I truly and genuinely got what I wanted for Christmas. So that was a genuinely magical Christmas present from Santa Claus. The dude really knew how to come through now and then. Let's see. Trying to decide when I should stop with the blue and start with the silver. How crowded is too crowded gonna be? Okay. Definitely need to get some attention on the backside here. Why are there rubber bands in here with the hooks? That does not make any sense at all. I think those are gonna have to disappear. Kids, if you're watching me, don't climb the furniture at home. Certainly not when your parents are looking. One of the brilliant things about a fake tree is that it's really easy to hang ornaments, because if you really want to put one somewhere and the branches aren't lining up, you can just move the branches. I've thought about getting a real tree, but one, it feels so barbaric to kill a life just to ornament the house and celebrate eternal life by killing something. So to bring a live tree into the house would be really expensive, because it would need to literally be a live tree. It would need to be in a pot, and I need to keep it healthy through the winter season and then plant it outside afterward. But I've long thought it would be really nice for the cats to have a real tree. One they could climb in, you know, get sap all over their fur and take weeks cleaning it back out. Be a real enrichment experience for them. But that'll be something for the cats to look forward to. Toying with not putting a star or anything at the top of the tree. Is that a faux pas? Does there have to be something on the top of the tree? Seems odd to use a star when what we're celebrating is the return of the light from the sun, not a more distant star. I could put a Santa Claus at the top because he's more seasonally appropriate, although his name wasn't always Santa Claus. Oh, that is all the blue ones. So far, so good. Actually, kind of really digging that. Can you see? That help? Now I'm going to add silver. So these guys should be identical to the blue ones, excepting that they're silver. I'm kind of digging this. Maybe I called it good on colors there. What is your aesthetic, everybody? What kinds of things do you like to do with the tree? Do you like to just hodgepodge with all of the decorations from all of the school projects and all of the Christmas presents and all the different sundry places that they come from? Or do you like to do a themed color? What are your traditions or preferences for setting up a tree and decorating it? I would like to know, because it's something I've thought about a lot this season, trying to figure out how to make this work for me in a way that I could enjoy it. Boy, it's really starting to look like a real Christmas tree. And that's the other thing people debate about. When do you put up the Christmas tree? Some people like to put it up before Thanksgiving. Some people like to get it up right after Thanksgiving. Some people wait until just before Christmas. Ow! Ow! Those aren't supposed to be sharp like needles. Don't fall. So y'all, I don't know how good these look. They're pretty cheap. They're really, really cheap ornaments. Hopefully they look good from a distance. I think they do. But if you get up close, they're cheap. Is it getting too full? I'm not sure what the level of coverage is supposed to be, because the tree that we had when I was growing up was so full and overcrowded with ornaments that this looks really sparse and delicate and relaxed compared to that. It is a tradition to hang a bell where the cats can ring it, because they will. Put this in the place of honor. Everything falling off. Now I gotta decide which of these to put on. I'm thinking not the white ones, just the blue and the silver ones. We'll try it out and see what looks right. Oh, that's handy. They come out in 2 individual trays. I don't know. I think it doesn't work to put the white. It's the only white that would be up there other than what's coming out of the light bulbs. I think we're going to skip the white. We got plenty of ornaments anyway. And I've still got to put some of the red up there. Yeah, that works. Gives it a little bit of variation so it's not total cookie cutter, the same solid colors. Uh-oh, this one's covered in glitter. Glitter is not safe to have in the house, I feel like, but maybe it won't be too bad. This deep-seated tendency to want to put the fancier looking bulbs up higher and matte down lower from years and years and years of programming to keep the expensive ornaments and the fragile ornaments up higher away from the small kids. I don't have to do that here. Alrighty, can you see that? We've got the silver ones on and the vintage ones on. Now I'm just going to do a little accent with the red. At one point I was really sick of red ornaments. Red's not really my color, but uh-oh, somebody's cap has come off. I think symbolically, the red's just important again. In my falling out with traditional organized religion, kind of over the overt Christian symbolism of the holiday, I like things to be a little more inclusive. However, As I studied it out, it turns out most of the symbolism associated with this holiday is not Christian. And the red is a symbol of life, even in the wintertime, and being associated with sacrifice and rebirth. Well, that was part of Yule season long before Christians came through and decided to co-opt. In fact, I read that the Danes or the Norse or somewhere up in there in the northern European countries, during Yule, they would hang bloody meat, raw, out in the trees as an offering to Odin's ravens and whatever other woodland creatures needed the extra protein and sustenance in the winter. And that's where we get the red bulbs from. Can't corroborate it, still working on it, but I like that. I think that's a lovely idea. In fact, I'm going to try to do something similar to that in an upcoming video. Not going to put bloody meat in the trees though. That might make the neighbors nervous. Oh yeah, that's fun. But I do like the imagery of that idea and the sort of offering to the wild things as they are. It's harder to survive in the winter if you're living outdoors like the animals do. So I like the idea of also giving to those in the extended community, the furry things, the ravens, the whatever. I don't know how many of these I want to put up. Ooh, that one's already, yeah, see how cheap these are? That one's already scuffed up and it's brand new. I'll have to hang it so that part's not showing. Ooh, I think this is a pattern we have not seen before. Funny, I can tell which neighbor is coming home by the way he desperately revs his engines. Uh-oh, I just realized these freaking red ones have gold. It's alright, it's subtle. I think it'll be okay. Be careful not to put too many red ones on. I don't want to overpower, I just want them to accent. Ah, broken one. Good thing I wasn't hoping to use all of these. Not worth a return on these. I gotta get enough deal. They're so cheap. Kind of expected there to be more broken ones than I found, honestly. I really like these odd shaped ones. Well, they're not odd, but they're not globes. I don't know what you would even call this shape, but I think it's sexy. Have we gone too far? Is that too many red ones? Spot where we can move on. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to have so much red on there that it becomes a staple. I'd rather have it be an accent. How does that look? Oh, I almost forgot. I did get one other ornament. Something for dragonflies, and this was only about $2. It's a glassy type of plastic. I'm not sure what it's made out of. It was the exact same color as the rest of my blue ornaments, and I thought it would be okay to have a couple of ornaments that weren't standard issue, and so I splurged a little bit and got an individual little dragonfly, and now I gotta figure out where to put this. That'll work. Thank you for hanging out with me today and decorating my tree with me. It's not something I've shared before. Decorating at my mother's house was usually a social event, but my own personal tree, I don't think I have ever decorated with somebody else. Unless you count the trees I had with former intimate partners. But that's such a, feels like a past life. Or past lives, you know? So it's been a long time. Unless you count the cats helping, but they do help like they're 5. I really enjoyed sharing this with you. Thank you for that. Why don't you tell me about your holiday traditions with the tree and decorating it and when to get it? And do you get live or fake or, you know, all those things. Let's talk about it. Anyway, now that I've done that, I think I am going to turn off the lights, sip my wine, listen to some Yule music, and just relish that I got to make these decisions and that I get to have a pretty tree. And I'm actually gonna celebrate this year with this tree, and that makes me kind of smile. So cheers! If you enjoyed spending this time with me and the tree, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe so you can stay close to the wild. And if you never want to miss a thing, click on that notification bell. If that's still not enough for you, go ahead and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And until we chat again, keep your holidays wild.